What is going on, everybody? We have a special guest in the building. I was gonna go and say the date, but these are timeless episodes. You will not know when these are filmed. Anyways, before we get into that, let me play the intro music.
I can't hear the music.
I know you can't. Just give it a sec. Alright, as I was saying, we got a special guest in the building. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hey, I'm Xavier Williams. Actually, happen to be Dante's brother.
Hey!
Yeah, there we go. Surprise, surprise.
We got a little bro in the building.
Yeah, we came out here, decided we'd probably have a nice chat and hop on the podcast and see where that takes us. And excited to be here.
Yeah, and just as a heads up, you don't always have to keep looking at the camera. We can just kind of chat. But to look at the viewers, it's always nice. All right, so first topic. Where do you want to go? Off the top of your head, what's the first thing that comes to your mind?
I don't know. Maybe a little bit of introduction and background on myself.
Sure, let's do it. Yeah.
So I am. I don't know where to start. What's important? I don't want to share too much.
Okay, we'll start. Where did you go to school?
Yeah.
What did you do for school?
Yeah.
And kind of what are you doing now?
Yeah. So I went up to a school that's north of where we are, a couple hours north, called Georgian College. Studied in the Automotive Business School of Canada to learn about the automotive industry. And now outside of school, I also happen to work in the automotive industry. I'm a salesman. I do sales. Sales is good. Yeah, honestly, aside from the job itself, it's one of those things that I think is a great life skill. Learning how to sell anything in general, whether it be a car or yourself or your services, it's a good skill to have.
That's definitely something that I've been looking to learn over these past few months. Is just the art of selling. I'm a terrible salesman. And,
I know you are.
Whoa, come on, give me a little bit of credit here.
No, it's better I tell you you're bad. So you try and get better.
Well, that's why I'm trying to get better. And I will say I am getting better at it. I've made a couple of sales, and each sale has been getting bigger and bigger and bigger, which has been pretty nice. Yeah. So you work in the car industry now. You sell cars, but you also do a lot of things outside of cars. Go into that a little bit.
I mean, aside from hobbies and stuff, I skateboard and whatever, I try to stay in shape and fit, and I also race cars. But aside from the hobbies, I love business, and I love trying to just find new ways to
make money,
take my piece of the cut from everyone else. I guess not that's how it is. That's making money. You're kind of taking it from someone else. So
money has to flow from one place to another. It's a currency, it's moving.
Yeah, so big on my e-commerce. I like to use Shopify and build businesses that way, whether it be drop shipping, branded products, help other companies make money, so on and so forth.
What are some of the products you've done on Shopify? Because I know you've done 12 stores or
Yeah. Let's actually run through the list. I'm going to go all the way back to my first to the current. So I'm going to have to think for a sec. But I think my first store ever was AirPod cases.
Oh, that's right. I do remember.
I didn't sell a single one, but it was my first store. Looking back, I just didn't know what I was doing. It was bad, but...
the leather AirPod cases, I do remember that.
Yes.
You wanted to convert them to the marble
ones. yeah, you remember that? I still have that AirPod case sitting in my room.
Do you even have AirPods?
I didn't have AirPods at the time. I do now, and not even the versions those cases would work for. So fumbled that, but it's okay. I learned. So I went from AirPod cases, and then my next store after that was humidifiers. I made a humidifier store.
Really?
Yeah.
Dang.
Air diffusers and stuff.
Okay.
And that one would have taken off if I had the skills that I have now, but I didn't. I built a bad store, I branded it poorly, and I marketed it poorly. But people were still showing up to the website, and people were almost buying.
Really?
And that was the first taste I got. I see people reach the checkout on the Shopify analytics. I was okay, this can actually happen. I was people wanted to buy something from a random store I built. So, after the diffusers, between the diffusers and the AirPod cases, I actually tried to do leggings.
Okay.
And then I also tried to do resin rings.
Okay.
And then, resin rings, leggings. I forgot about those because they were so quick.
Yeah.
Also, just like learning. And then the first store that I got my first sale on was a beauty product. They were like rose quartz jade rollers. Like you roll them. Yeah, you roll them on your skin to like, I don't know. Yeah. I don't even know what it does, but I sold it
to make money.
Yeah, I just like, ladies want this? All right, I'll sell it. Right, so I did that. That's when I got my first sale, my first taste of.
Hold on, keep going.
My first taste of making money online.
Yeah.
And I don't even remember what I did after that. I think that's when I started my cat store.
Your cat store,
which is my longest running store to date. It's still up, but I've done like 3 or 4 stores in between that too. Selling other random things.
Oh shoot! I forgot to do one of the most important things. But we can keep going. I forgot to plug this into the laptop.
What is that?
I gotta plug this into the thing.
What does it do for us?
It makes it so that our voice is recorded.
Oh, you didn't record any of that?
No, it's recorded on here, so it's okay. But it all adds to the aesthetic of the podcast. Like,
welcome back.
No, we're still here. We're still here. Just give me 1 second. One of the things that I thought was really sick, this guy mentioned yesterday on a recent other podcast that we did. Okay, there we go. Was that like people really like non-perfected content, right? Like that's what's been driving people to TikTok, Instagram versus like, just going on to like watching TV where everything's so perfect and overproduced.
Well, here's the thing about non-perfected content. A lot of the content you see is perfectly non-perfect. Like it's done that way on purpose.
Yeah, that is very true.
It's 100% done that way on purpose.
Mine as well. It's just not on purpose.
Like, because the fact that you're even saying like, oh, like people love that stuff. Like
people know that
people love that stuff, so they do it like that on purpose.
Yeah, I definitely did that on purpose.
Yeah, no, all right. Keep it raw.
So you did the cat store.
Yeah,
you got some success there. Like, what are some of the factors that actually make an online store successful that you found?
So profit.
Okay, but like, what is it that you have to do to make it profitable at first? Like, is it the idea? Or
I learned that
marketing.
Like, the product matters, but the truth is, if you think you're selling something that just one person might want, you'll know other people want it. So like, aside from picking a good product, it's really just branding and marketing, and branding and marketing includes a lot of things. Like it includes what you think the customers will think when they see your store, what you think they'll think when they see your advertisement, what you think they'll think when they see the price of your product. Like all that stuff matters. So you have to factor it in to try and sell things.
Yeah.
So all those like nitty gritty details on the numbers kind of decides if you're going to be profitable. And that's what I would say makes a store successful. If I close a store, it's because it didn't make money. I might sell a couple $100 worth of something, but if it's not profitable, I just will stop.
Do you give it like a time frame? Like if they don't...
I give it a budget.
A budget?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So like, what's your budget when you go into making a fresh store? Like,
if I've spent like $400 and haven't sold $400 and stuff, I'm like,
you just quit.
It's not even quitting.
No, not quit, but like next product. Like,
yeah, you just got to keep moving because like I've seen where I've spent $50 and made over $300. So I'm like, okay. Really? So it's like, if I'm not doing that, I don't have a winner on my hands.
True.
Right. So pretty quick. I think at least now that I know how to build a store.
Yeah.
I'll know pretty quick if I have.
What are some of the resources that you use to actually learn how to do this? Because I know. You put me on a few Instagram pages, like Wealth Squad.
Wealth Squad, love Chris Johnson. Shout out Chris Johnson. Seriously, shout out Chris Johnson and Luca Nets, and I'll get into them in a bit.
Okay, shout out Chris Johnson.
Shout out Chris Johnson and Luca Nets.
Okay, so tell me like a little bit about them and why they are like a big part of your journey.
I joined Luca Nets Discord, and I changed everything about the course of like life. I'm not even kidding. I joined his Discord. It was the first place I got to talk to people directly that make millions, that are rich, and you realize they're just people. Normal like they're just chilling in a Discord just like me, right? So started talking to those people. They give like their education and like just posting like trades or Shopify stuff, and I'm like, man, like these guys live differently. So I was like, all right. And shout out that Discord because I joined it. And I was like, hold up, we're not doing something.
Is it a paid community now? Or
it was. Yeah,
it was. So you paid to join.
Yeah.
How much? was it? And was it a good return on investment for you?
It was a fantastic return on investment. I'm not in the Discord anymore because I believe I got what I needed and left. And then I saw Chris Johnson's, and then I joined Chris's. But
are you still in Chris's?
No, I'm not in any of them. But I follow them on social media now, so
yeah.
I see what they post there. But I don't pay for those things anymore.
Yeah,
it was definitely worth it. And I know, like, you know, people don't like paying for things because, you know,
the internet.
But so, yeah, it was like, it's worth it though. Like, a lot of these things are worth it. Like, buy a book, read a book, buy a Discord, read the education in their Discord.
Are there any books that you've been reading or that you would recommend that help with your sales?
Not particularly. I always tell myself I want to read more, but I feel like I never put the time aside to read. So yeah, I don't really read that much.
Okay,
I really don't.
No, fair enough. It's one of those things. Once again, like even me personally, like, you know, like growing up, like we were like almost like forced to read, and then we're like, like I don't really feel like reading right now.
It was the being forced to read that made it suck.
Exactly.
Like, you know, like maybe tell me a book is cool and maybe I'll go grab it later in the day. Like, you know? But if you're like, you have to read this book.
Yeah.
It's like,
yeah. And it's not even a good book. Most of the time it was an encyclopedia or something lame.
Le Petit Prince. Like, I'm not interested in this book. I'm not going to read it.
Yeah. Okay. What? Oh, okay. So another thing that you've been really into, and I think a lot of people would, you know, take a lot from this is your crypto experience. You dove a lot into crypto.
Yeah.
Talk about crypto and
so I don't want to
that journey
go into like the rabbit hole. And it's something I like to tell everyone when it comes to any topic, right? Like, I personally love e-commerce. I personally love crypto. I personally love cars.
Yep.
And I personally love selling. So for me, they're like things I'm going to learn about naturally.
Yes.
Like, I'm going to go do my research and I'm going to go learn why whatever is the way it is. So the thing about crypto is, like, I could sit here and be like, oh yeah, like, y'all need to care about crypto, but if you don't care,
you
don't care. Like, but if you're even the slightest bit intrigued, I think folks should just do some research on it and see why it's even a discussion, like why it's even a topic. Like, I don't like. There's not much for me to go into. Like, I have my favorites and I've done my research.
Well, no, I was gonna say, like, what got you into crypto aside from making money? Like, is that like the main thing? Like, was it? Like,
I read about it.
So you read about it and then you're interested in it?
Yeah. Like for the past like 4 years or so, like I've always
I forgot crypto's been like a few years now.
It's like over a decade old.
I know. I keep forgetting. Like, it just like every time it's like, oh, NFTs is just this year, but it's like, no, crypto's been.
Well, like NFTs are like 2017 is when it kind of started, but it only really mattered last year.
But that's what I'm saying. Yeah. Like, it's so like recent, even though crypto is
kind of fresh.
Right? It's still fresh. Yeah,
a lot of new fresh things. Well, for example, like Bitcoin is the oldest. 08, 09 really. Ethereum is what, 2014, 2015? Okay. That's not that old.
No, that's not.
Yeah, 2015 is not that old. I remember exactly what I was doing in 2015. And that's when it came out. Like, sorry?
I said I graduated high school in 2015.
Exactly, right? Yeah. So since that point forward, like all this new stuff like that's related to that is kind of fresh. But yeah, no, I've always wondered, you know, I was like, what even is crypto? Like, why are these numbers going up so high? Like, why are these numbers going down so low? Like, you know, like why is it doing this? Like, obviously there's money there.
Yeah.
I was like, what is drawing people to it? So I started reading up. I was like, oh damn, like it's actually cool as hell. Like, it's actually so cool. Like, aside from like the money, like if I was to explain it to someone, I would say, like, honestly, you kind of put the money aside unless you're like a trader. Maybe you've been trading stocks, options, Forex, and you just want to trade because crypto is very liquid. You have a lot of liquidity. But if you like the technology, that in itself is enough for you to probably be like, oh, this is actually.
So can you give like a brief like synopsis, a 101 on like the technology, like for the layman's out there, because some people might not really know. Just like if you can, like not.
I don't even think I could. Like, you're putting me on the spot, like, and it's like kind of controversial.
Really?
It is, unfortunately.
What, crypto's controversial?
Yeah, it is.
Why?
Like, if you hop on like the wrong forum and you say something about crypto, like you're getting berated.
Okay,
like,
so I'm not trying to put you like.
No, not even like that, but like people talk about how it's not environmentally friendly. And like stuff like that.
Yeah, they've been saying that.
Fun fact: there's an event happening in 15 hours that will make Ethereum a lot more environmentally friendly.
Should I invest in Ethereum right now?
I can't give investment advice. That's illegal. But okay, I'll explain this to you since we're chatting now. But you know how Bitcoin, they use like, and even Ethereum, they use like the miners, like the big miners that, Yeah. So Ethereum's switching to a method where they won't require those miners anymore.
Really?
That's the easiest way for me to explain it.
What are they switching to?
The method is called proof of stake. So instead of using miners to validate like transactions and whatnot, you'll use actual Ethereum itself. So it's done on the blockchain instead. So they're wiping off all the miners. So all those environmentalists that hate it for those reasons.
But then what's going to be doing the computing to even check the Ethereum? Like
nodes, essentially.
Nodes, like people's machines.
Yeah.
Oh, well then.
The validators are what they're called, kind of. The validators are like the staked ETH. Anyway. See, I'm like, anyway. That happens in 15 hours. So that's kind of exciting for me.
Okay. So how are you going to be like keeping up like on the TL, just seeing what happens? Are you going to be watching the price?
Yeah,
like
100%.
How much do you have in Ethereum right now?
I don't check the price of much at all, to be honest.
Okay.
Why do I have to? I just,
No, but you don't have to, but I'm just saying like if something.
I lied. I will see the prices on a daily basis. It's my portfolio. I don't need to look at.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that makes sense. Even. Yeah, I don't look at my portfolio. Mostly because it's empty. It's just empty.
25 cents. All right.
No, I tried to hop in. I didn't do any. I did negative. I don't even know if I can. I didn't do research.
Talking about our friend GME.
Yeah, that guy. Yeah. I hopped in on GME. You guys can all laugh at me. I hopped in at 3:59 on the Friday. I was still like.
And went to bed. This guy, like, I woke up in the morning. He's like, yeah, I like bought like all last night. I'm like, I told you about this 4 days ago, and I suggested maybe not to touch it, but but
you got to learn these lessons.
You have to learn these lessons. It's better you learned it than didn't, because you learn it the harder way. I know.
I see people learning it the hard way right now, like on Reddit. And
honestly, that's the best way to learn anything, the hard way.
Yeah. Because I think you learn it better if you learn it the hard way.
You just actually learn it.
You learn,
right?
Well,
like,
yeah,
you learn it better, but like it'll engrave itself in your mind. Like just like on the topic of sales, like you can read a sales book, but until you go try and sell something and fail at it,
A quick question on sales. You've made a lot of sales, but like, do you know like your sale to fail ratio? Like,
I could definitely calculate it.
Are you like 70-80% sale rate, or
no? I mean, the average is like a solid 30.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, it's not a high number. Like, your closing ratio isn't really too high. I mean, my closing ratio has gone up because we have less foot traffic, just because of supply shortages around the world and like cars and stuff. So people are only showing up to purchase cars that actually want to buy, which is good. Yeah, because I'm talking less people, but selling more of them. So my closing ratio is higher than before. But
okay, yeah, because before I guess you would just come in like some
random people would come in,
just like just look around.
I want to look at this car and that one, and maybe test drive this. And how much does this cost? And I'm like, someone else is gonna walk through the door and ask me none of these and not want to touch any of these
and buy a car.
Right? So it's like, I'm sorry, like, I'll help you out, but just know you're kind of wasting my time right now. Like,
no, that makes sense. Okay, cool. We're at 18 minutes, so I think I'll ask you like a spiritual question, and then we'll end this episode here. All right. So you've I would say gone through a spiritual journey over the last couple years.
I'd say so.
What's something, or what really put you down that spiritual path, and what's something that you've learned that you have not expect to learn?
Well, let's see. What put me down that path? I feel like I always knew that there was parts of our brain that we can access with drugs, whether that be psychedelics or anything like that. Like, it shows you a certain thing, you might feel a certain way. So I would say curiosity for me.
Yeah. And
then, I picked and choose based on research what intrigues and what I think is maybe like a safe option, so to say.
Okay.
As of what I've learned, I don't feel like I've learned a lot, but I think it reassured me more about things.
What has it reassured you?
More about like my choices in life and like my path. And like this sounds so selfish, but like I personally think nothing else nothing matters, bro. Like in the best way possible. Yeah. Like I don't know, I'm so free.
Yeah.
Like I literally could do whatever I want, and anybody can literally do whatever they want, kinda.
And we were just actually talking about this before we went live, but to be able to just go out on your own terms.
Yeah, yeah. So can we talk about that here?
Yeah, we'll talk about it. It's recent. I mean, it won't make the episode timeless, but if you guys want to
we won't date it, but basically in our hometown, there was a shooting, and the shooting was all over our general area. I don't know if you share where we live, but anyway.
We live in the Golden Horseshoe area, you know.
Yeah, so they went through like a GTA. 40-minute radius, and this guy shot a bunch of people. He killed 2 people, and then he went and basically chose where he wanted to die. Yeah. Right? Like, he knew people were coming, like the police were coming to end his life because of what he did. And yeah, we were talking and saying like, as messed up as it is, he was free to do that. Yeah. It's illegal, and against the law.
It's illegal to do it that way.
It's very illegal to do it that way, but it's like, yo, like, I want to go do something. Whoa,
I want to get this.
You know what I mean? Sorry for the loss, and it's a terrible, terrible thing. But it is pretty crazy that in this world, like.
Well, and that's a good point before we end it there, but some people, you know, they don't really get to choose, you know, where they're going or how they want to end things or whatever it may be.
100%.
Right? And most people, like, they don't even decide to choose, like, a good option. They kind of just exist and
and I also should say, like, by the way, like, definitely be grateful, like, the fact that we could stay here and, you know, have this conversation. Like, there's people in countries that, you know, can't leave the country and you know, they don't get to have a regular life.
Yeah, they don't get to have a podcast.
Their version of a regular life is very, very different from ours. So, yeah, I understand that. Yeah. Like, I do. But, you know, from my perspective.
Yeah, you want to be able to just do whatever you want and just...
And why did psychedelics do that for me? Because I don't know, psychedelics opened up. I was like, yo, wait, hold up. Hold up.
Well, that's a great insight. And... yeah, thank you for this episode. We'll do another one at another time. Thank you, appreciate it. And to everyone, make sure you leave a comment down below, something interesting that you learned, or maybe a thought of value that you picked up during this episode. Because I know my brother Xavier here, he was spitting a lot of great knowledge and information. So if you like something, leave a like. Make sure you share it with somebody, and make sure you share it with someone and tell that person that you shared it to share it with someone else, because that's how we grow in the algorithm, right? Do you have any algorithm tips real quick?
Post a lot.
Yeah, that's basically it. All right,
Keep the first 3 seconds interesting.
And until the next time, peace.
Further.
Oh.
I'm sorry.
It's all good.
You said my skills extend farther than the basketball court. Farther relates to distance. Further is a definition of degree. You should have said further.
I want to hear the jingle.